Hi, this is a 686 Smith & Wesson revolver. It's a 300, I'm sorry, a 357 caliber. Um, Had some issues with the gun. I've never fired this gun. When I got it, I looked the gun over after taking transfer. Got it home. Kind of looked the gun over. It was bought in, I believe, May, off Bud's Gun Shop. And it was shipped to an FFL here where I live in the Midwest. And I looked it over quickly in the gun shop and accepted transfer on it. But when we got it home and started looking it over really well, we noticed it had some issues. So we contacted Smith & Wesson and told them about the issues, and they said send it back. We're going to fix it. So we documented, the issues, and we sent it back. Like I say, I believe these pictures were taken and included in the return package. And what we're trying to show here is we've got paper stuck between the frame and the barrel on the gun, and we're showing that there's a gap. And what we're talking about, if you hold the gun up sideways, if I can get this lined up correctly here, which I probably can't do, you can see an air gap between the frame and the barrel. And back in, well, this picture is dated 6/4. When we included this in the return package, we're trying to show them that there's definitely a gap there that needs to be fixed. That was one of the issues. The next issue was we showed them that on the cylinder as received, there's a big nick out of it and a big scratch mark on the cylinder. So we showed them that. This is all included in the first package. We actually took some shim stocks, feeler gauges, and actually placed it in there so that they could see, what we're talking about here. Along with the paper, we also actually used feeler gauges. We also showed them that on the ejector rod, they had somehow flattened out the knurling. So we showed them that. Oh, this was good. On the frame, on this side of the frame, they whoever blended the gun blended out all forging marks. So we showed them that, and that's on the left side of the frame. But when you go to the right side of the frame, here it is. There's a forging line right there. So on one side they blended it out, and the other side they didn't. Again, this is a 686 Plus Pro Series, and according to Smith & Wesson, these guns are, they used improved parts from the Performance Center, which go to the floor, the gun gets assembled, and then it goes back to the Performance Center for just kind of an overview. They look the gun over to make sure it's up to their specs. Well, this one fell through the cracks. Hey, here, I don't know if this is going to show up on this, but there's actually a burr between the barrel and the frame that we got circled there, and we got it marked so that they could see it, but there was a burr between the two, the parting line there, and somehow that got missed. Unbelievable. Smith & Wesson. Alright, so we sent the gun back the first time, and they fixed some of the things. They fixed the mark or the dent or the scratch or the divot that was on the edge of the barrel. They fixed that. They did not fix this gap, which I just showed you, but then this little divot they did fix. Once again, they didn't touch the gap. Knurling, I don't know what they did. I think they might have sandblasted over it so it wasn't so noticeable. These blend lines, they actually did. If you look at the gun, I'm not sure how this works, if they only have so much time to do, but if you look at the gun, you can see this side's blended, and they did a decent job. Not the best, but a decent job at blending this side out, so at least they look kind of the same. So that they made, they made an effort there. No effort on that gap though. And that was pretty much it. The gun came back. I think it was the end of September. And when I saw that they hadn't fixed the gap between the frame and the barrel, I called them back. Plus, I also noticed that when they sent the gun back, because they had to reblend those frame lines, they had to sandblast the gun again, or in this case, bead blast it. And when they did, they erased the Pro Series emblem by bead blasting it. So I let them know that the Pro Series emblem got erased there, and I let them know that the gap was still there, plus the burr was still there. They didn't fix the burr either. So I let them know that, and they gave me another return authorization number, and I sent the gun back again. So let me pull the paperwork from the second return. Okay, so the second return was done. The first return I think was done at the beginning of September of 2016, and the second return was somewhere around the beginning of October. Again, we documented the fact that there was a gap, photographic evidence that there was a gap between the barrel and the frame. Circled it in red so that they wouldn't misunderstand anything. We placed the paper in there so that they could see that there's a gap there, and got notes on it saying fix this, basically. We showed them on the second return that they still have a chunk of metal there that hadn't been addressed on the first return. How that was not addressed is beyond me. There's another picture of that burr that was between the barrel and the frame. This is all stuff that you miss, when you're looking at the gun over quickly in the gun shop, taking transfer on it. This is a picture of the logo that was sandblasted away, and I had the Joey in customer service tell me, "Oh, they don't have the logo's not there. There is no logo on them." I said, "Joe, please, I got a photograph of the gun. This photograph was taken on 5/31 before I sent it in, or after I received it, and there's the logo. So for you to say that, hey, I don't know what they're teaching their customer service people, but they need to work on that area." Anyhow, so I sent them photographic proof that there was a logo there. The gun came back, and the gap is still there, and now it looks like they bent the ejector rod for the cylinder ejector. This gun was received back from Smith & Wesson. I went there twice. There's a gap between the frame and the barrel that we tried to get them to address. And also we're noticing now that when we spin the cylinder, the ejector rod kind of runs elongated. If we can set something straight here, kind of show you where it's at. I don't know if it's going to show up on this, but when you're looking at it, it's oblong. The other issue is when you hold the gun up to the light, if we can get it turned around right, you can actually see a gap that exists between the right there, that exists between the barrel and the frame. So it might be a little bit blurred right there, but you can definitely see daylight there between this barrel and frame on this gun. So we sent it back to him like 3 times, or 2 times. I'm sorry, 2 times now, to get that corrected, and we're not having much luck with Smith & Wesson. They have corrected some other things on the gun, but they haven't corrected that. Now they have bent the ejector rod, it appears. They wiped out this Pro Series emblem, but on this last chip they lasered that back on. But for whatever reason, I guess it's basically because they want to make plastic guns, and they're really not that interested in putting out quality steel guns anymore. So they don't want to adjust this gap here. If I can get a little bit better shot up closer. And then the other issue now is this ejector rod. When you look at it, let's see if we can do this. I guess because I'm moving the camera, it's hard to tell, but like that. Let's see if it shows up better. Yeah, right there you can see it. So yeah, Smith & Wesson quality control, not good. And the other issue I've got with them is that the gentleman I talked to, Mark, in customer service, guaranteed me before he sent the gun back that that gap is non-existent on the bottom, which I don't know how he can guarantee that when you look at this, and that there was a very, very small minimal gap on the top. So he said that there was no gap on the bottom and a very small minimal gap on top. So it appears as though he lied. I asked him to take a picture of it and send me a picture before returning the gun, and he said he was unable to do that because the gun was already in shipment. That turned out to be a lie as well, because Smith & Wesson sends you notification once they ship, and it turned out like 3 days later I got notification that they had shipped. So it turned out he was making false statements. The other false statement I had was from a customer service person by the name of Joe. Said that the Pro Series, they sent it back the first time and that Pro Series wasn't there. And he said, well, the gun doesn't come with a Pro Series on it. And I said, well, that's funny because I got documentation, I got pictures that show the Pro Series on it, and I got documentation when it was returned that the Pro Series is gone. So I don't know how you can make that statement. So he kind of backpedaled after that. So, I don't know. Maybe Smith just wants out of the metal gun business. I don't know what to say. I'm going to try and get this, give him a call again. I asked him on this last return, alright, if you don't want to fix it, just refund my money. So we'll maybe post this video and see what happens here. Just disappointed in their customer service. What can I say? If you have an issue like this, I'd be interested in finding out what your problem was and if you were able to get it resolved. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.